Wouldn't you believe? Kane ambush. CSM, Crimson Sky, Menace versus Trading T.
I thought it was the Crimson Sky Marauders.
Huh? But we have a rally called Marauder, so it's weird saying that.
I know, I just say that because certain members get rather annoyed when you get their name wrong.
So Llamas, start with the Crimson Sky Marauders shiploads.
Alright, so their first ship is the Designated Driver, piloted by Running Tree. They have a right side Gatling mortar, front Artemis, and left side Hades Artemis, so it's a standard meta junker loadout. And they're paired up with the Elsa. It's a blenderfish with a right side Banshee and left side Banshee actually as well.
And for the TT, we have the Blackout, the Palm Medium piloted mean machine, Get mortar front, Banshee's left side, and its ally Goldfish. March Hare, piloted by Mr. Wildcat. Unit front, Gatling and Flame on the side. Why would you put a Gatling on the side of a blenderfish, Llamas?
Only reason I can think of is if you want to ram, or if your Pyramidian wants to get some quicker hull strips.
You would think the Palm Medium can just get a side Gatling or something.
Yeah, I mean at the moment both teams are pushing into the canyons. I mean the Elsa is quite a way ahead of the Designated Driver. I mean, I'm talking quite a way ahead. They have got a Cloud Bank and a Rocky Spire in between them at the moment.
Maybe they were thinking if the enemy charges, for the middle, they will have the Goldfish check out the situation, the Junker sit back with taking no damage, and when something happens, the Junker can just shoot at them while the Goldfish is dodging a little bit. Which is not happening since TT is trying to sneak into the enemy spawn, expecting them to camp with their Junker.
Yeah,
which they
unfortunately we've got the typical canyon, ring around the rosy. Alright, so we have what have we got? We've got the good old triple engineer on the Junker, so that they'll have some good buffs, so that would actually be a very effective ship as they manage to get into Blue Spawn. Or at least into Daniel's Nest. However, both of the TT ships have turned around and are actually coming behind them.
Well, they might not be aware of the CSM's exact position, so they might just drive directly into Gunnox. If CSM will turn around.
Is actually a disadvantage because from the March Hare, if they're looking, you can actually see the chem spray on the engines of the Designated Driver and the Elsa through the clouds, at least briefly there. So if TT was being observant, and it looks like they were, they're actually getting the jump on the back of CSM at the moment.
Yeah, you can see Marshall didn't go directly forward, he just kind of turned around. Oh my god, the balloon of Designated Driver is this way already.
And they're using the long-range side of the Designated Driver, which is an interesting choice. Oh dear, by the time the Elsa comes in, they all Designated Driver is. Goodbye. That was a clinical dispatch by the TTT.
Focus fire for Counted and to get motors almost very strong.
Elsa manages to take up the lead of the March Hare, but they look like they're trying to make a speedy retreat.
Are they going to be able to escape?
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like it. The Blackheart has a beautiful flank on them. Balloons down. They're going down.
Can they get a kill?
No, because unfortunately that Gatling Silver ST on the, or Silverst, on the Gatling taking out the carriage, the Elsa is pretty much fully disabled. Ram coming out from the Blackheart. Did hit the flank, which will give the Elsa a few more seconds to save a death, and down they go.
Side Banshee getting the kill. Yeah, what was nice in the beginning is that Marcia didn't charge directly into them. It's kind of moved a little bit more to the other side next to the palm region, so they can charge at the exact same time and have a better focus fire going on.
That first engagement was beautiful work by TT, so when they came in and they spotted the ships, they didn't immediately spot and charge. They obviously communicated where the enemies were, and then the fish took cover in behind this rocky spire, allowed the Pyramidion to catch up, and then they both moved in together on the junker. So by the time they realized what was happening, they didn't even have time to turn around and get their close range into arc. So that was a very nice engagement from TT.
Very nice indeed, and they seem to be going for another flank, this time to the far east of the map. Or are they actually going through the middle of it?
Whereas this time, it looks like CSM is grouping up on the western side of their spawn. I'm not sure they're going to push forward or...
I think they're a little
hold
bit
back up, but
cautious, since they just...
you can't really blame them after that first engagement. And it's the joys of canyons. It's whoever gets the jumping of the team does have a strong advantage.
Maybe they're expecting the TT to charge through the west side of the map since they were there before.
Yeah, they could be. If you look at the positioning of the fish, I mean, it's good. The junker, it's...
Weird.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they could be waiting for a potential flank. At the moment, the TT team is more than content to sit in their spawn and just flare the clouds. They seem sure that the CSM team is going to come to them.
Yeah, I guess if they just want to pressure CSM into running towards them, because if the time runs out, TT will win because they have a higher score going on.
Yeah, I mean, we do have a 20-minute time limit for the matches. I think it's just a flat 20 minutes, so...
Legit.
I know
Both
both
looking at the east
TT
too.
teams are actually looking at the east, so... I'm not sure if this is some kind of very clever psych, or if they thought they saw something.
I've heavy jumps
Either
if
way,
I
they're
see
both
go what they would have.
moving to the east. Yeah, but, you know, since they patch drums, of course, they are pretty much useless as a locational tool. Which, it's good for stealth. I mean, TT used that to their big advantage in the first engagement, but...
I mean, shouldn't you
when
have
you're
heavy
actually
jumps
trying
when
to
you're
find-
actually being shot at, when shots are going out between each ships?
Yeah, so drums trigger if you are spotted, or your ally is spotted, or you have a spot on the enemy. So basically, if spots happen,
There
there
were
are
no
drums.
spawns and no one shot
If you
anything. Why are the drums going
I
on?
know.
This is...
Bronze
He's
to enter
coding.
channel.
Hello, Bronte.
Just as it goes.
Welcome to the Guns of Eco season of Blossom Town Colosseum.
Yes, welcome to the stream.
Randomly Johnny. And God, TT looked like they wanted to go into the spawn, but they just scouted into it and saw nothing is happening over there, so just kind of go back
I mean,
inside the
CSM
canyons.
is being, remarkably patient. They're just sitting on the west side of their spawn, not really moving.
Behind this cloud cover. So if TT would go into the spawn, they have no way of knowing where CSM actually is, which makes it very hard for any engagement to happen.
They might have maybe just given up at the moment because they are moving in towards the east of their spawn. TT is pushing forward into the middle of the canyons. It actually looks like they're gonna go back to the south towards their own spawn, which means because of the cloud cover they are gonna miss the CSM team completely.
It's so close
Oh,
to.
look! You could, like, get a spitball across that distance,
You just
and yet they are completely unaware
kill them.
of each other's presence. Off they go, on their merry way.
Maybe they're trying the west flank again, thinking this time it's gonna work. Well, it worked last time too, but they had to go back for it to work.
Alright, so now CSM is actually moving to the east of their spawn, so that by the time TT comes
Ah.
in for their western flank,
Please!
to be
Don't do this to
perfectly
me.
out of position.
Why was doing such a quick management? This is taking so long.
I know, see, we were all dreading casting the juniors matches because no sniping matches, you know, they're going to take so long, we'll have to think of things to talk about. And then here we go, in the canyon match.
I want to tell them to go to B3 and just battle it out in the middle of the map. Do you think I'm allowed to do that? Because
I don't think the referee would take particularly kindly.
Alien, can you tell them to go to B3? Come on, Alien, you have the power. Make the decision.
Alright, so...
You have the power.
No, Dad, we are not encouraging that kind of thing. At the moment,
Sorry.
both teams are actually just sitting in their spawn, having fun. I mean, lovely buffs on the Junker of the CSM. Gentle Wheatley, I'm sure, is keeping the... Yeah, he's got the Elsa buff nicely as well. Silverst is buffing on the Blackheart. I mean, it's basically what else do you do at this point? And Black is keeping the March Hare buffed. That's interesting. Would you believe we actually don't have a single gunner in this match?
What? This is Daniel disapproved.
I only just realized this. I was flicking through and looking for buff kits. And I
Why
suddenly
wouldn't you
realized
take a
this.
gun on a Metamedian? I mean, come on.
Well, I
Incendiary Gatling?
What have they got?
No one's gonna expect that kind of thing happen. Oh my god, Elsa is actually... CSM is going a bit forward here. Daring
Oh,
to
that's
go into the
interesting,
enemy
so-
spawn this time.
So on the Metamidian, they have a buff engineer on the Gatling instead of a gunner, and they have heavy clip instead of greased. I mean, obviously with the buff it still does a decent amount of damage, and as we saw in the first and only engagement, Silverst is quite good at sniping out components with his heavy Gatlings, so that's an interesting choice.
Also pushing
Sacrificing
forward
a little bit of
a little
defense.
bit far ahead compared to his Shankala, who's dangerously low
This
too.
is risky.
Also might actually get a flank on these two blue ships if they would see, if they would be able to see through rocks. Please see each other. No.
TT is
TT,
moving into
don't
the house, but
move.
yes. The Kim spray, is the Kim spray going to save us? Oh, they might have seen it. I don't think they saw it though.
No. I don't think there was any way for them to see.
Designated driver and Elsa cruise into blue team spawn.
Designated
just
driver.
as
No, he's gonna
TT
miss them too. They were so close again.
leaves.
Come on. But the heavy
Alright.
clip Gatling, I guess it works out because of the Junker's slim hull. It rotated more accurately too.
Alright, so while I have a second and 27 people to use my stove box, this is why I don't like the drum changes. This is why when Muse said, hey, we're going to change the drums to allow for stealth and increase realism, I said, no, don't do that. Because on certain maps, Canyon being the prime example, but also on Paraton, the number of clouds makes it practically impossible to do anything without at least some kind of navigational tool.
I mean, with the old drums, oh my god, they're really inside each other's enemy spawn. This is insane. With the old drums, I know we had the trouble set. We would assume the enemy is, let's say, 800 meters or something over to the west, when they could have been to the east, and we would have just continued the circle in a smaller way of circle, and just constantly moved instead of camping a little bit. I mean,
Yeah.
it helped a little bit, but it didn't really help that much in the end.
Alright, so we do have between 7 and 6 minutes about remaining. So
And
now
if
it's
these
basically taking bets on will they find each other before the match timer runs out.
I bet you one rose die, they will find each other.
Well, I might be in possession of a roast die soon because it looks like the
No, come on,
Crimson
guys,
Sky
don't-
Marauders team
don't
is
leave me
pushing
hanging.
into the canyons
Come on, you have
They're
this
pushing
huge
in.
open area. Stay here, stay here.
just in time for the TT team to come in with their eastern
Actually,
flank back
this
into their
junker
own
might
spawn.
actually be visible for them. Come on.
Oh no, look at
Launch.
that. That is completely invisible.
No.
Oh wait, yes,
Yes, a spot! Yes!
spots are out.
Roast die! I get one roast die!
Okay, this is beautiful. Okay, so we've got spots on the TT and the March Hare. Designated driver is using their long-range side. No, it's close range.
You know, they're just getting cover, getting the ally into position, getting kind of caught like this is it's not a good.
Blackheart is going to ramp it. They're pushing over the canyons. I'm so excited. We actually have an engagement.
It's a ramping.
Ramping straight into the designated driver, which is using its long-range side. That was maybe not the best decision.
Oh dear.
They
Also
do
behind.
have the hull down on the March Hare. Also the balloon on the
Oh,
designated driver.
Ram
is
going
down.
out. Destroys your armor. Rams, mortars, everything. It's just too much for that poor little chunk, and now Elsa all alone.
Yeah, and unfortunately the hull armor is down on the Elsa. Mortars are coming into arc from the Blackheart. They're balloon blocking at the moment, so they might survive for a little bit.
Well, they just lost the
in
balloon.
between a rock and a number of hard places, so the Elsa is slowly being shepherded down to the ground.
Can it escape this time? Can it? Do you think it's as long than last time?
I think it has actually, because last time it took cover, but it didn't manage to get any of its guns back in arc. Which, incidentally, it hasn't at the moment either. But, oh, that's a wall. Oh, boop the wall.
Yeah, Elsa's engine is too damaged from all that heavy seating actually.
Yeah.
One
This
is
is what she
tanking the
gets
hull.
when she leaves the icy mountains and comes to the deserts.
They're tanking the hull pretty good, but it did not really matter since 2 ships versus 1 with your only ally waiting in your spawn.
Indeed. So, yeah. With less than 5 minutes remaining, TT is in a wonderful position. They have a 4-0 lead. Both of their ships are practically at full permahull. I mean, March Hare has taken a sliver of damage, but nothing noticeable.
Yeah, I think all of that damage was that Hades from before actually.
So if CSM wants to make a show of this, they're going to have to be played very aggressively for the last 5 minutes.
I don't get the chance to. TT seems to be pushing forward.
Yeah,
told
TT is
CSM
pushing forward into their spot.
off guard twice now. Will they manage it the third time and win the game?
Maybe not. We have spots on the March Hare and the designated driver. They are using the long range sight again, which
They're pulling forward a little bit. I think it's just
unfortunate
drifted.
misses from those Hades.
Oh no. They really should send the goldfish in front, not the Junker. Not like this, Junker. Not like this.
The Elsa is actually focusing on the March Hare, which means the Blackheart has,
Designated driver is
well, pretty good arcs on the designated driver.
Blackheart just
Elsa
rams
really,
into the rock.
and they still have their long range guns in arc, unfortunately the Junker, so... Ooh, that was actually really
Why
good
are they
bounce.
bumping into the same rock? Both of them.
It's okay. It's okay, that was actually a good bump for the designated driver. They now have their Gatling and mortar in range. The March
March
Hare is actually he's stuck. Nice. Okay, that was a nice consolation kill for the CSM. If they can manage to literally almost break every engine on their ship all the time by just burning kerosene into this one, they might be able to get enough kills to win this. 2 minutes remaining.
Elsa actually has to dodge him at me then. Gatling is just destroying
Elsa,
the lower armor value of the goldfish. The Significant driver is his long side turned towards the blackout, trying to destroy his engines.
As arcs, balloon is down on the Blackheart, and in comes the Banshee from the Elsa.
Oh no,
A good hit now from the designated driver, and that was a good last engagement for CSM.
they still have 2 minutes. 1 minute.
But interestingly enough, that does go to show it's the CSM team does have the advantage kind of in the slightly more open engagements. And once either team loses a ship, it's basically a given which team's going to win. They've just been very unlucky with their engagement positions so far.
Yeah,
In both cases.
TT managed to go behind them all the time and just kill a Junker before it could even turn around. But this time the Junker had arc and when it was getting shot at, it was able, quick enough to go behind this mountain and just take cover against the Gallon Cabinets for a second, allowing Sally to do enough damage. And then the Goldfish got stuck, and then they killed it. And then the Parmesan, of course.
We're in the final few seconds, 20 seconds remaining of this match. CSM pushing into
TT wants to risk
I
it.
think
They're going
TT
for
is
it,
pushing forward.
but Marcher is going for it. Blackguard
10
is
seconds.
comfortably staying back. Not wanting to deal with
5,
this.
4, 3, 2,
You can do it,
1.
CSM!
And that's
You can...
GG, unfortunately.
Oh.
The match goes to TT.
Well, I would like to say unnecessarily long match, but I'm not sure if that would be nice to say.
It's just the nature of the map. I mean, neither team was at fault. I mean, it's not as if either of them purposely tried to extend.
They could have tanked the whole time, instead they camp and then they move again. Why did they do this at the same time? Just
It was an unlucky coincidence. Neither team was at fault. It was just, yeah, an unlucky coincidence.
unlucky for season especially. Getting caught off guard twice, using both shapes and then losing for timeout. Really unfortunate.